It's the Texas Motor Speedway, a mile-and-a-half oval like no other, 24 degrees. One end and 20 degrees there, the other end. T-shaped oval. It's going to rock your world, and it's going to rock the NORA Truck Series. Season 5 starts in just a moment of race number 5 of 26, 35 laps in the first stage, 70 laps in the second stage, 147 laps in total here. The virtual Texas Motor Speedway from virtual Fort Worth, Texas. The real-life trucks were here this last weekend, and it was a barn burner of a race for those of you who caught it. Now, the NORA Truck Series visits here tonight for your viewing pleasure. Once again, hello everybody, I'm Trevor Greenfield, and you're watching VirtualRacing.Network. So great to have you with us to get set for this historic event. And what a great evening tonight as we just completed our first trip through a road course this season at the Circuit of the Americas, where Vincent Arthur had no trouble subduing the competition and managing to easily eclipse even the likes of Sean Briscoe, Josh Conover, Brian L. Jones, the points leader, Ronnie Norman, Ray Moats, a number of these drivers that have been able to get up there and challenge for race wins. It was all Vincent Arthur last week. All that's erased. It's a brand new week. Back to the ovals. Everyone's got a chance. We're ready for some exciting action. These drivers just about to head down, get ready to qualify. So let's go ahead and jump down trackside. We're about to pick up qualifying here in just a moment. We'll go ahead and get you the points as they stand here in the NORA Truck Series. On your screen, you can see it. The Season 5 driver points. Brian L. Jones leading the way with 115 points, but right behind him, Sean Briscoe, very, very close with just 1 point off in the driver race. Just back another 5 points. It's Tim Harper. He's super excited about tonight. He was posting it over on Facebook. And should be a great race for Tim Harper to get back underway here on these ovals and try and chase that championship. Torrance Shirts in 4th place and Jacob Gladelich in 5th. It's still early in the season, so perhaps a little too early to be getting too excited about these points. Let's go ahead and pull up our owner points. There you go. Nightmare Motorsports number 24 still in the lead. Got one of the wins, but you can see the wins kind of sprinkled through the rest of the field. And multiple teams represented in the top 5. Bright Powell Motorsports, Harper Motorsports, Black Line Motorsports, Capital Motor Club. A lot of these teams doing quite well so far. And a few of them actually really gaining here in the last couple of races. So just something to keep an eye on as we go forward. And there you can see on track right now, the number 16 of John Cottle. He's just put in his qualifying effort. Let's get the ticker up there so you can see what is happening. So, Cody Reeder, so far fastest in the session. Flashing over to him. A couple of these drivers getting in their very first fast lap. Ronnie Norman is putting in a great time. So Norman there with a 30.19, and he just needs 1 lap to do it with. A lot of these drivers just choosing to do 1 lap. Torrance Shirts out there on track right now. We're going to pick up the action with him. Take a look at his sector times and runs that high line up along the wall. Let's jump on board here. Along with Shirts, number 5 driver in the championship. That 8 Timmons, your fastest driver, and he sits on track right now. And we watch and see if any other drivers are going to give it a go. But Blade Timmons, so far, your quick driver. So, watching on as a number of these drivers getting ready for tonight's race. So great to have you with us, as mentioned, here on VirtualRacing.Network. We continue to move into the oval part of the back half of the season. Actually, not quite at the back half. Obviously, we're just at race number 5. But as we get over the top of Circuit of the Americas, of course, exciting to get back to the ovals. Here's Jonathan Daughtry. So, number 44, finally taking to the track here, going to try to get in his qualifying effort. And he's sliding it sideways, but I don't think that drifting job is what he had in mind there in the number 44 machine. Like he's going to have to regroup after that one. But great to have a chance to be able to cover him and give him a little bit of screen time out there in his Realtree 44 Chevy. So a lot of these drivers choosing not to put in a qualifying lap. We've got David McGuire, not taking a lap thus far. Tyler Dixon, Brad Fulham not going to take a lap. I look over and see kind of what the penalties were for last week. Actually, no 23, no Q is about the only one. So there's no CCs to report, no car contacts to report. So looks like all is good. So with that, we will go official and we'll get a chance to go over tonight's starting lineup here for the NORA Truck Series round number 5 at Texas. And there you can see it on your screen. Number 12 card there of Blade Timmons, one of the top drivers in the championship, and he'll take pole position for tonight. Blade Timmons Racing, his namesake. Got to be happy with that one. Starting on the outside front row for SS Motorsports, it will be the number 2 car of Ronnie Norman. Though it is shown as the number 6 on his side pod. Oh, I take it back. I looked at the wrong column there. It is the number 6. Of course, Cody Reeder in the 85 for KPR Motorsports. And Mark Bremkamp for BS Motorsports. That'll be the second row. Third row will be Jason Brewer for SS Motorsports. And Sean Briscoe in the 39 for Capital Motor Club. Watch for that number 39 to make its way forward. Briscoe right up there in that championship fight. Todd Slauson in 7th. And in 8th place on the outside of the 4th row will be the number 45, Brian Jones. He leads the championship, and it's early to talk really about championship, but you know it's got to be on his mind, even though he's got a cat on his rear deck lid there. So it tells you that not everything is super serious in Brian's world. Keegan Bitzer going to be starting in 9th place with Cody Height on the outside. Josh Conover will start in 11th, and outside of him will be Martin Clute. John Cottle for Hollinger Racing will be starting next to one of our independents in the field, Jacob Gibbons. Craig Schroeder for Capital Motor Club and Jacob Gladelich starting alongside of each other. Harper Motorsports teammates Christopher Heights, Cody Dorsey. Todd Schneider, the number 86 machine, and right next to him will be Tim Harper, as we mentioned. Looking forward to tonight, getting that number 99 truck up there in the lead. Jason Conover will be starting in 21st. Corey Danielson in 22nd. Michael Shield in 23rd. David McClure in 24th. Nick Eilis in 25th. Thorin Schertz in 26th. Brad Fulham in 27th. Jonathan Daughtry in 28th. And last tonight to start will be Tyler Hinton for Kingdom Motorsports. So as this one gets critted up here, we are about ready to get this one underway. Again, so great to have you with us here on VirtualRacing.Network. We get set for another exciting evening of the Truck Series. And with that, we are green here at Texas. Blade Timmons fires it into turn 1 first, and just behind him, you got Ronnie Norman, Cody Reeder, all these drivers still where they qualified. However, Jason Brewer already jumping up. You can see, looks like Mark Bremkamp starting to drift back in that number 78 truck. Keep an eye on that as well. Sean Briscoe dropping a couple of spots on that start, but no problems whatsoever for Blade Timmons as he has absolutely been able to hold the start. No challenges from Ronnie Norman behind, and we're just getting this one going, so we expect some more challenges to be coming. You can see 2 wide, 3 wide, a little bit further back. Brian Jones there trying to make the move in the 45 car. That's 45 truck on the inside of Sean Briscoe in the red and white on the outside. Brian Jones really pushing hard to try to get not only that position from Sean Briscoe, but challenge that Bremkamp just up in front. The drift to the high side. There, the 39 takes a dodge down to the inside. We're side by side, just up in front as well. And with that, we've got the first caution by Cody Dorsey, bringing out that caution. And you can see there he is on the backstretch, getting that one straightened out. But we will take a look and see if we can figure out what happened to Dorsey. And see if we can catch Dorsey here. There he is. Dorsey looks like he just kind of got jammed up there. Number 38 was trying to find a way by. We'll back it up one more time here and see if we can figure out exactly what took place. It looks like perhaps that truck just in front, looks like they got a little loose heading through the corner there. And that may have been the problem. The 38 actually of Dorsey, the one who gets loose. So just in front of that Burger King machine and then sliding up the racetrack. And I believe the 24 gets caught up in this mess. And we'll watch and see. Indeed does. And a little bit of damage to several different trucks. Dorsey slamming the inside wall. Hopefully off of that steering wheel beforehand. Let's see what it looked like from on board. Slams the truck and then into the inside wall. Several pirouettes on the backstretch and finally brings it to a rest. Guylis had a pretty good view of that one. Let's see what it looked like from Guylis' point of view. Smart cam courtesy of Shane Weinmiller over at simcraftmarket.com. Truck cams provided by Shane Weinmiller at simcraftmarket.com. Guylis lucky to keep moving after that one. End up with a reasonable damage. Does look like perhaps some damage to that machine. He is in the pits currently getting some of that damage repaired. There you can see the right side of the truck of Cody Dorsey not looking very good. Guylis sitting on pit road. Looks like that front balance is bent up a little bit, so unfortunate for him. But he will get that damage repaired and get back underway. Blade Timmons, though, has managed to own this race from the very get-go. And he's done it without any challenges thus far from Ronnie Norman. So We will take a momentary break. We'll be right back in just a moment and pick up the action as they drop the green flag. Stay tuned. Welcome back to those of you watching live. We appreciate it. Let us know over in the YouTube chat room. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to smash that subscribe button. You'll get notified of the upcoming races for the NORA Truck and Cup Series, which of course will be racing again tomorrow night right here on VirtualRacing.Network. You don't want to be anywhere else. Monday and Tuesday night, you're home for NORA Truck and Cup action right here. Blade Timmons back underway, and this one is go again at Texas. Cody Reeder slips into that second spot though. He's managed to steal it from Ronnie Norman. So move him up one position so far. Todd Slauson moving and shaking. 3 positions gained in that 22 truck. And now he looks ready to go take on Ronnie Norman for a possible 4th position. He'll go outside inside on Ronnie and take it down to the inside as he makes his way through this D-shaped oval. Down through those 2 dog legs. And through turns 1 and 2, side by side with Norman. Still waiting to see whether or not he can continue to take that. He drifts up high a little bit on the entry of 3, and that puts Norman into the wall, trying to adjust to that drift up that happened by Slauson. So Norman, perhaps a little bit of damage on that machine, on board with the number 6. And we do appreciate the notes coming from the YouTube chat room, letting us know about what you're hearing and what you're seeing, able to make some adjustment. Goodness, so close to that outside wall. Ronnie Norman in his Ford, now all the way back to 7th place. Hopefully Ronnie can get that one figured out before too long. Sean Briscoe down 2 spots from where he qualified, of course, right up there in the points. 8th place, now going to make that move on Ronnie Norman himself. So definitely some damage to Ronnie Norman's truck, unfortunately, and it looks like he's going to start drifting back through the field, now all the way back into 8th spot from 2nd. But Blade Timmons currently holding his own out front, no trouble for that Blade Timmons Racing Ford. Number 12 easily holding down the lead. Cody Reeder has definitely jumped out 1 position. He's looking great so far. Todd Slauson, he's ready for more, up 4 spots since this start. Number 22 is on the march and looking to send it for Full Send Motorsports. I know Christian Snyder excited about that. Somewhere out there, Christian having to deal with some family-related stuff. We wish him well with all the things that he's having to take care of. Hope to have him back in the booth here pretty soon before too long. Or perhaps back out on the track. We're not really sure, but either way, always great to have him involved. And certainly if you're out there in the YouTube chat, hey, like Zagarak Gaming, I will be back next week to race. Can't wait. Just feel free to check in with us. Let us know who you're watching, who you're rooting on, who your favorite driver is, where you're watching from. Any of those things, so glad to always know. Looks like Briscoe trying to make a move on the 2 machine of Martin Flute. And Blake Timmons still holding his own out front, no problem. He's got like 10 car lengths back to Cody Rear. He is a 7/10 of a second at this point. He seems to have it figured out pretty well. Got some side-by-side action back here with Josh Conover in the 17, trying to get around, but you can see just in front, that is Sean Briscoe and Mark Bremkamp battling it out. Bremkamp with that very shiny chrome number 28. And he'll drift up the track just a little bit as Briscoe tries the outside. Now going to make it 3 wide for a moment. Kind of settles down. Josh Conover now trying to make that move on the inside of Bremkamp. As Bremkamp moves up the track very high on exit, but he does keep it gathered in. Those two racing side by side here at Texas on lap number 16 of round number 5. Trying to sort this one out in the early going. Of course, 35 laps we will be doing here in this opening stage. You can see, it looks like Martin Flute really all over the back of Briscoe trying to get that position right now. Jump down on board with the Loves machine for Flute. Flute having a good run here so far, up 5 positions. Briscoe up in front, exactly where he qualified. Briscoe had slid back a couple of positions and managed to gather himself back up. Now we look a little bit further back. Looks like back here you got some battling going on. This is Christopher Heights. Looks like another truck just got in the wall just up in front of him. That's Jason Conover. That Monster Energy Brian Powell Motorsports number 21. Got in the wall a moment ago and is now starting to slide back a little bit. He had made a lot of progress. Right now he's still up 2 positions from where he qualified, but now he's starting to slide back and looks like he has to slide through as like Vladelich just behind him trying to push him forward, but now Vladelich has to go around everybody going around Jason Conover. Vladelich really struggling here tonight at Texas after that incident earlier on. He perhaps sustained some damage in his truck, but he's still trying to mend that number 14 and get it back together. Back up in front, though, this battle is starting to get a little bit tighter. Todd Slauson still trying to get that position just behind Jason Brewer. Starting to push a little bit. These drivers right next to one another could make a move into any one of these corners, but I think they're going to wait just a little bit longer before they make any sort of extra aggressive moves. Try and get to the front for the end of stage number 1. And it looks like Flute racing side by side back here with Josh Conover. Conover on that inside lane as they march through turn 3 and 4. Now exiting onto the front stretch. On board with Conover. Conover just deciding to drift up the track here just behind. He's better at making that pass. Flatline Motorsports machine, 25-year-old. Looking for anything he can get here in this opening stage out of 25-year-old out of New Jersey. He's just trying to get some extra bonus points so he can continue his march up the points order and stay up there in that top 5. This NORA Truck Series, very, very competitive. And now you can see Cody Reeder is right on to Blake Timmons. He marches down the inside. They go through the dog leg. It looks like Reeder has decided to back out of that one. But he's served notice to Blake Timmons. I'm on my way, Blake. Black Rifle Coffee Company on board Blake Timmons' machine. There you can see Cody Reeder pokes his nose in front through turns 3 and 4. Perhaps Blake Timmons might have worn some of the tires off of that machine already. We're going to start to see some of these trucks starting to have some effects. There you can see the weather on the right side. 13-mile-per-hour breeze here in Texas. 100-mile-per-hour or 100 degrees on the track. Not the hottest day of all, but could play a factor on these trucks as we get into the late stages of one of these stints. So Reeder able to lead that lap in entirety. Slauson now in second place. Blake Timmons drifting back into third. Ryan Jones in fourth. And Jason Brewer in fifth. Jones, your points leader, already up 4 spots into that fourth place. As I mentioned, I mean, he may be starting in 8th, but he knows how to get it done. And now trying to get it done on Blake Timmons, your pole sitter from tonight, now drifted back just a little bit. Already a little bit of a lead out front for Cody Reeder. About a 4 or 5 car length gap between he and the next car up. Blake Timmons starting to drift backwards, though. You can see Brian Jones getting around that truck very easily as he gets through the corner. So Jones for Brian Powell Motorsports now up into that 3rd spot. So things starting to really materialize here for Jones, who had qualified in 8th, but I guess he knew that he had a fast truck underneath him, was ready to make the charge forward. Now, we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. He did a pretty extensive post over on Facebook, and you can see also Mark Bremkamp having an issue there. He just got that one corrected, but we were just talking about Tim Harper, who was posting about how excited he is to get back behind the wheel of his Harper Motorsports truck tonight. Head out there, take a challenge. Well, he's up 11 spots if you're one of those people that keep track of that kind of thing. So keep watching for that number 99. He's just cracked the top 10 and starting to head up towards the top 5. This is quite a gaggle here for that top 5 position. Sean Briscoe currently in the lead of that. Jason Brewer in 6th. And Martin Fluke just behind. Josh Conover now part of this battle as well. The number 17. And they have to clear a truck that is currently in the wall. And I believe Daughtry? No. Trying to figure out exactly who that might be. Struggling there in their truck. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Sean Briscoe currently holding his own in that 4th spot. So now up 2 spots from where he qualified. And again, having one of those Briscoe kind of nights where things just seem to go quite well for him. Qualifying in 6th, but already up 2 spots up into 4th. And we'll see how much further he can get up the field than that. Just a little bit further back, there is Josh Conover, who now gets down to the inside of Martin Fluke. Conover up 4 positions. Now taking a look. Side by side they run. We've got a truck just ahead putting out a good deal of smoke. that is Jacob Gibbons, independent, who makes his way down pit lane. You can see quite a lot of damage to the right side of that machine. So undoubtedly up against the wall. Gibbons, fortunately, I have to explain that one to the boss. Cody Reeder for KPR Motorsports, doing what needs to be done here tonight. Passing a couple of trucks. Now currently your leader, and he's starting to pull a little bit of a gap. You take a look, get that all in one shot there, but he's actually pulled out about a 0.4 of a second lead. So it's not exactly easy to get it in shot. There you go. You can kind of see when you get past Todd Slauson, it's 1.7 seconds back to the next truck, which is Sean Briscoe. So all that racing that they're doing side by side, as you see, that's the 20 car of that's the we have a yellow flag right now, and I'm not seeing what the cause of that yellow was. Take a look around. It's possibly Nick Geilis. It doesn't appear anybody has crashed hard enough to bring out that yellow flag, or at least not that our software was able to register it. So with that, oh, I take it back. It is Lab 36. I don't have a producer in my ear telling me, but that's it. We just hit end of stage one. So that was Cody Reeder, Brian Jones, Todd Slauson, Sean Briscoe, and Jason Brewer, your top 5 here at Texas for that first stage. So we're going to take a quick break here, see if we can try to figure out what comes next so we can stay on top of it for you. And we'll be back to green here in just a moment. Stay tuned. You're watching the NORA Truck Series on VirtualRacing.Network. virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Just completed stage number 1 of tonight's action of season number 5, race number 5 of 26 for the NORA Truck Series. About to go green here on stage number 2. Every one of these trucks deciding to come in and take tires, so that should tell you a little something about what these drivers are facing out there as far as degradation of these tires. So just about to get going here. It'll be Cody Reeder who took over the lead after about 15 laps or so from Blade Timmons, our pole sitter. Cody Reeder done a great job of that first stint. Back underway here. Cody Reeder in here. Todd Slauson in second place. He's facing a challenge right now with Brian Jones. They are side by side at the moment. You see Jones challenging on that high side. Slauson trying to hold him off. But Jones, your points leader, up into second. You can say that they didn't see that one coming. Gonna find a way to the front. Just as the number 39 is, that's Sean Briscoe. He knows the way to the front. We've seen him do it time and again, and now he's making his move on Todd Slauson into turn number 3. We also got Josh Conover right there, and Tim Harper as well, already getting, Tim Harper up 14 positions so far into that 6th spot. So we jump back, and it looks like we have a yellow flag for Jonathan Daughtry. There's Daughtry there. We'll have to see if we can figure out what caused that one. That's perhaps a little bit too late. We'll back it up and see if we can tell if he got help there corner or not. 21. Jason Conover gets down to the inside, but no, it looks like Daughtry just kind of lost it through the corner. Very fortunate not to take anyone else with him there, but Daughtry getting it a little loose and a little bit into the wall. Daughtry manages to get it back going again. We jump back now to that live picture, and we are under our 3rd caution of the evening for Jonathan Daughtry's pirouetting on the back stretch. So he'll jump into the pit and get that damage repaired, and we will take another momentary break. We'll be right back with the restart. You're watching VirtualRacing.Network's coverage of the NORA Truck Series. Stay tuned. And welcome back here to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway as we are enjoying a fun race here with iRacing's NORA Truck Series. And this is the 5th race of the season. We've seen all kinds of great battles thus far this season. This one is turning into something that could really materialize as a barn burner towards the end. We've got a number of trucks that are very competitive, and we've seen a lot of these trucks starting to emerge at the front. There you can see Cody Reeder. He's come forward a couple of spots. Sean Briscoe up 4 spots. Brian Jones 5 spots. Todd Slauson 3 spots. Tim Harper 14 spots. And Josh Conover 6 spots gained. I mean, these drivers are starting to show some serious race pace out there. We're back under green here on lap number 46. Cody Reeder, though, he's got these starts in hand. Brian Jones in second place, Briscoe in third, still sizing it up side by side back there between Flute and Slauson, trying to figure that one out. And Timothy Harper now on the outside back here. You can see, though, Brian Jones making a challenge for that lead spot. He dives down to the inside through the dog leg, and he'll make it into the top spot, carrying that cat on the rear deck lid. Right to the front here in Texas. So once again, so great to have you with us here on VirtualRacing.Network. We love having so many fans watching live. Feel free to let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting on. Love to chat. Love to get some information I don't already have. Love to know how far we're reaching out there. And who's seeing NORA for the first time and enjoying the show. We've got some side-by-side action just a little bit further back. I believe it's Schertz and Keegan Bitzer trying to race this one out. Bitzer for Flatline and Schertz for BS Motorsports. Schertz took a look. Up 15 spots himself. Move forward a little bit. There's Briscoe solidly up into that second spot. Just behind, that's Conover on the inside of Flute. So Conover now starting to drift into that top 5 equation, already into 4th. Conover now taking a look. He's going to try to take Cody Reeder here. Kind of backs out of it a little bit, thinks better of it, or perhaps he's going to try to get a little bit better of a run down this back straightaway. Got to kind of plot and plan your maneuvers. It's not a super speedway where you're just hang on the back of another truck. You might ebb and flow a little bit. Trucks working their way under a lapped vehicle there. So far, Conover having a good race. Brian Jones up 7 spots. And certainly looking like the championship leader here tonight. Great racing from him. Some great passing thus far. Sean Briscoe holding tight, though. He says, I'm not done with this championship. Not so easy, Brian Jones. Possibly going to have a move from Briscoe before too long, or at least size him up. Cody Reeder still hanging on to that 3rd spot. He led some laps. He led the first stage and got maximum amount of points. Now he's back into that 3rd spot, just hanging on as he's got Conover all over him, now diving down the inside. Conover making that move in the 17 truck. That KPR Motorsports. Sorry, for Flatline Motorsports, excuse me. Getting over the top of the KPR Motorsports truck. So Conover now up into podium position territory. Perhaps he wants to get a win here tonight. He's already taken pole position. I'm sorry, he's already taken a podium, been able to get a post-race interview. Perhaps we will see Josh Conover in victory circle at the end of this one. He's got to go through 2 very tough competitors ahead. Sean Briscoe and Brian Jones. Brian Jones having a stellar evening thus far. He can taste the checkered flag already, but he still does have quite a long time to go before it is time to celebrate. Our next stop will be at lap 70 if we don't receive a caution before then. About another 15 laps here. We'll be seeing the end of stage 2. So who is going to emerge to the front to try to take stage 2? Stay tuned for that. It might be the time when you do see a Josh Conover, Martin Booth, one of these other drivers try to make a move to get up there and possibly take this lead win. Look a little bit further back. This is Christopher Hite. He's having a good night. He's up up 5 spots. That number 18 machine. Harper Motorsports, again, his teammate up there, the namesake Harper, Timothy Harper, up 14 spots in that 6th position, but so far Harper teammates doing quite well here. Tyler Dixon a little bit further back. He's just behind Ronnie Norman. Now Norman has not had the type of night that he would have wanted. He's taking some damage early on, having to avoid another truck. Finds himself back in 15th position with the early unfortunate circumstances of heavy racing up at the front of this field. So Tyler Dixon gained 9 spots so far, so he's having a decent run of it. Bremkamp, though, not having a good run. He's fallen out of contention right now. He's starting to fall backwards. You can see this truck losing out to a number of other trucks. Starting to fall back now into that 19th spot and still continuing to fall through this field. So Bremkamp was up there in that, up near the top 5 earlier, and now really starting to fall out all the way back into 20th, and I think the bottom of the barrel is the limit for Bremkamp at this point. So hopefully he can figure out how to stabilize that machine. It does look like he's getting it back underway here. We watch him now try to get through turn 3 and 4. Possibly sustained a little bit of damage from another incident. Perhaps like Ronnie Norman just kind of went up and touched the wall, and that was it. So now we've got Sean Briscoe trying the outside on Brian Jones. Is that going to let Josh Conover into the picture? It does. Conover seizing the opportunity, taking that truck down the inside of Sean Briscoe. On board with Conover. Briscoe on the outside there, not going to give it up. Now these two racing side by side, just behind their side by side. We've got Cody Reeder, Martin Bluth side by side for a moment there. Had them stacked 3 deep, side by side there. So Conover back in line, Cody Reeder back in line, and now coming through the dog leg, it's Conover who takes another shot at Briscoe for that 2nd place. Briscoe's got that truck pretty hooked up on the outside, though. I don't know if Conover's going to be able to pull that maneuver off. Race under our camera here. And he does actually pull it off. And not only does he pull it off, he wants more. And he'll take more. So that Conover now making that move on Brian Jones and putting his truck into the lead. Josh Conover, the owner of the NORA Truck and Cup Series. showing that not only does he know how to own and run a league, but he knows how to run these trucks as well, right up into the top spot. So Conover for Flatline Motorsports looking excellent tonight, up 10 positions. And this is just what I'm talking about. You're starting to see these drivers who have really come forward from where they qualified and starting to show that they have a truck that is not only a top 10 capable truck, but possibly top 5, top 3. Josh Conover's case, he's right there at the front now. They've got a very slow lap car that they're coming up on. They'll have to work under that as they're side by side just behind. That's Cody Reeder and Brian Jones now side by side. Cody Reeder marches to the front. Now we saw him take stage 1. Is he plotting an attempt at trying to steal stage 2 as well? The 85 Chevy from KPR Motorsports stalking Josh Conover as he's now managed to get around that Brian Jones number 45 truck, and now he'll take his move. He'll lunge forward, and Cody Reeder back into the lead here at Texas. Conover momentarily was in that lead, but now getting challenged for even second place by Brian Jones once again. I think everybody's asking that same question. Where did this Cody Reeder fella character come from? He was just sitting back there for a while, perhaps conserving those tires, but here we are, lap 66. Just about to do lap 67. He's only got to survive for a couple more laps. For 3 more laps, and he'll manage to take stage 2 as well. But I think Conover still has something to say about it. We've got Jones, we've got Briscoe. This is a pretty close battle here at the front of this one. You see Martin Flute still engaged in this one back there in his yellow truck, so he might still be in this one after all. But Cody Reeder, my goodness, starting to pull out. Got about a 6 car length advantage at the moment. And I'm not sure that anybody's going to be able to close that gap. Reeder must have been saving those tires because he is just hooking through these corners. Last time a 31.68, Conover 31.95, Briscoe 31.88, and Brian Jones at 31.98. So, I mean, 0.3 of a second faster than these other trucks. I think Cody Reeder had an ace up his sleeve, and that was save those tires. Now, a little bit closer on that last lap, so I'm not sure if Conover going to be able to mount a charge here. He's got 2 more laps to pull it off. Conover kind of looking, going to have to catch the draft of Reeder just up in front and plan to make this move. Conover lining him up, but will he have enough time to do it before the close of this lap? And that actually was it. So Cody Reeder taking stage 2, and Conover having to settle for second place after getting up there and taking the lead. That must be quite bittersweet for Conover to take second place there in the stage, but it certainly lets you know Cody Reeder is not fooling around, neither is Josh Conover. Sean Briscoe's got a good truck out there, so does Brian Jones. Take a look at Brian Jones and then Martin Flute. Flute and Timothy Harper all having good runs here tonight, so some of these drivers really doing well. Here's Shorts up 19 positions tonight. So you talk about drivers having a good run of it. Maybe you want to put a circle around this truck for the end of this race. We've still got another half of this one to go. Stay tuned here on VirtualRacing.Network. If you're enjoying this coverage, make sure to hit that subscribe button up there. You'll get all the NORA stuff posted right on your wall when you come into YouTube. We've got the Cup Series coming up again tomorrow night. That'll be from Richmond Raceway. And you won't want to miss it. Short track action for the next-gen machines. And while you're at it, why not smash that like button? You get a chance to see all of the races. You get to see all these trucks hit while we step aside We'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Welcome back here in the virtual iRacing Texas Motor Speedway. We've had some great racing already through the first couple of stages. And you can see that, in fact, it was not Cody Reader who got back out in front first. It was Josh Conover with a great pit stop over Cody Reader and Brian Jones. So he will lead us back to the green flag, and I think he wants to try to control this one at the front. Will it work? We're about to find out here on VirtualRacing.Network. And we are back underway here at Texas. Conover in that lead position, no trouble thus far. Brian Jones in second. Cody Reader in that third spot. Martin Koop in that 4th spot, so he's already been moving up, now working on the inside of Sean Briscoe, excuse me. Trying to get that 4th spot away from Briscoe. Side by side they run. Luke trying that, get that wheel in there on the inside, try to battle it out. Now they're coming up on the back of Cody Reeder. So now Briscoe trying to work the outside on Reeder. Got a couple of trucks starting to fall off a little bit back a little bit further. Briscoe just takes that position now up into 3rd. Cody Reeder starting to drift back a little bit from where he was running so strong earlier. Martin Fluke also starting to emerge in this battle for the top 3. He's now in 4th place, up 8 spots. Josh Conover up 10 spots here tonight. And Torrin Shirts takes another position. Look at this guy go up 20 spots. He's done all of this with passing. This stuff that we haven't been able to necessarily see on camera, but he has been fired up and moving forward in his number 33 truck. Shirts now up in that top 5. Now, you can't forget, Shirts is a championship contender here, so without a doubt, he's got this truck singing. And now we go back up to the front. You got Briscoe and Brian Jones racing it out side by side. Briscoe on that inside line here at Texas. Now, I haven't even mentioned it, but of course, this is the new Texas, the 2020 version. We were just doing an IndyCar broadcast on Sunday. And it was here at Texas, but it was the earlier Legacy version. And it races quite differently than the new version does. Just something to keep in mind for these drivers. They've got to keep 2 different versions of Texas in their minds as to which one they're racing on and how they're going to race it. Turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 race just a little bit differently, so always got to be paying attention to those fine details. But Sean Briscoe emerges up into that 2nd spot. They all dive down around a lap car here, trying to make sure they don't get tangled up in someone else. And now Shirts is up into 3rd, taking that position from Brian Jones. Shirts, the number 33, wants a shot at glory here in Texas. 23 positions gained. That is some ridiculous statistic. He's taking a look here on Sean Briscoe. He says, I don't know when to stop. I'm just going to keep taking position until I get through them all. And there he goes to try to take that 2nd position in his truck. Obviously, he figured out something here tonight that some of these other drivers have not figured out. Torrin Shirts, VS Motorsports, really on fire here in Texas, into 2nd position. Right now, if I was Josh Conover, who's currently in the lead of this one, I mean, there's been all kinds of drivers to be perhaps a little concerned with that they might be coming on quick, but certainly Torrin Shirts is the one that I would be the most concerned with at this stage. Now, it is possible that if they do go through a very long stint here, that tire degradation may play a factor. We may see this effort from Shirt come back to haunt him as he's had to use up too much of his tires. But we will wait and find that one out. Of course, it also does depend on yellow flags and such. So will Shirts make a move on Conover for that lead position? We're watching live as Shirts thinks about the outside. He's going to try the outside. He's going to try the old over-under on Conover, trying the outside, then trying the inside. No, he doesn't do it on that lap. Riding on board with the 33. The Baker Heating and Cooling sponsorship on board. tell you what, he is red hot right now. Oh my goodness. He throws that truck in there. Surprised he's not racing for full send because that was quite a lot there. Now they are going to have a lap truck that they're coming up on here, so perhaps that truck will stay up high. And they do. Shirts, tried the high side, maybe thinks about the low side, now thinks the high side. Just trying to size up the competition in Conover. Just behind, you've got Briscoe and Jones, and then Klute. Cody Reeder drifting back now into 6th place. Jason Brewer in that 7th position. Blade Timmons in 8th. Of course, Blade was our pole sitter for tonight. And Timothy Harper in 9th place. So Tim had moved quite a ways up, but now starting to drift back into 9th. So we do wonder whether Tim is going to be able to sustain that run that he had going. Perhaps he will, though, because he did seem to make a lot of progress up 11 spots. Back in 10th position. We haven't been talking about him very much, but he's had a good night so far. Up 5 spots. This is Craig Schroeder for Capital Motor Club. Doing a really nice job with that truck. He's trying to lead this pack forward to catch Tim Harper up in front. Schroeder's got a mirror full of Tyler Dixon and Mark Bremkamp, though. Dixon has gained 14 spots. Here comes Dixon on the inside of Schroeder. Actually still racing with Bremkamp, but partially overlapping with Schroeder. Now Bremkamp, he had a lot of troubles. He was basically a top 5 truck and then started drifting back. I gotta say, he's got a great looking machine. Back up here in the front, though, it's Briscoe and Jones, championship contenders, racing side by side right now for 3rd and 4th. And that is giving, it's now 8 tenths of a second up to that next group. So it's a good question as to how this is going to play out. So looking back at the front, Conover doing a great job holding it down and keeping Shirts at bay. Brian Jones, as I mentioned, now close to a full second back from Shirts. Looking at Shirts there, and you can see he's a long way back there. There's a little bit of cloud cover covering Virtual Texas Motor Speedway here. But Briscoe and Jones are done fighting for the moment, with Brian Jones emerging at the front of that one. And Blue's still having a great night here. Up 7 spots, running in that 5 position. So I don't think you want to cancel Blue out on this one either. He may have something to say about this one before it's all over. Jason Brewer now back into the 6th position in that 11 truck. So I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of weird to get certain manufacturers up into that lead group. But right now, there's a lot of Fords up in the top 10. It's kind of interesting. I mean, I know you can't really make too much of that. But right now, quite a lot of Fords up there in that top 10. Top 2 being Chevys, but Ford, Chevy, Ford, Ford, Chevy, Ford, Ford. Interesting things that you happen to pick up on as the race goes on. Conover actually now 8 tenths of a second lead over Shirts. I'm not sure, did Shirts start burning off those tires like I suspected might have happened? That is possible. Shirts now hanging on, though, to that second spot. Brian Jones in third. And now Briscoe in close tow, so they're going to have another shot here at Shirts. This one's starting to heat up towards 50 laps to go here. And we're starting to figure out who the real players are in this battle for the end here. It's Conover now emerging over a second ahead. And Shirts just about to get challenged from Brian Jones. Brian Jones now marches forward, takes that second position. So Shirts perhaps wearing off the new on that tire a little too quick. And Jones able to stabilize that truck. Able to put it through there into second again, up 6 spots. Jones looking really solid here. And we'll have to pay attention to that gap up to Conover because that gap is starting to shrink. Now down to 0.8 of a second. See one truck really going high there, getting out of the way. And we do have a caution. This time I guarantee you it is not for a stage end. It does look like it's for Craig Schroeder. So let's see if we can figure out what happened to Schroeder. Get this one queued up here. So Schroeder was running well, but he gets up into the wall and then across the track. Fortunately, I don't know that he made any contact with any other drivers. We'll have to take one more look at that one. And we'll see if we can tell what happened there from his point of view. Right on board with Schroeder. Coming through turn 1 and 2. Looking to the high side on the truck. Maybe he strips a little too high. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Tire wear starting to become a factor here. We just saw that with Shirts, where it looks like tire wear becoming a factor, and I think Schroeder just perhaps had a little bit too much aero push off of the truck in front, and that just pushed him up into the wall on exit. And that is one of the tricks here. I mean, I don't do a lot of trucks running myself, but just in general, when you're doing oval racing, it is something you really have to pay attention to. As it looks like Brian Jones will emerge in the lead with a great pit stop of 14.67 that time to a 15.0 for Conover, and Conover loses out of the lead. He'll fall to second, Briscoe in third, Martin Flute in fourth, and Blade Timmons now up into that 5th spot. So Blade starting to creep back into the top 5, saying, hey, I'm not exactly, don't count me out yet. Still got a fast truck. Just had some difficulty in the early going. So Timmons starting to creep back into the front of this one. So we're gonna take this moment to step aside. Once again, make sure you smash that subscribe button and give us a big like if you can. Helps the algorithm out. And we'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. About 50 laps to go here. Don't want to miss it. welcome back to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway as we're about to get rolling again here for the 5th round of the NORA Truck Series 2023. And if you missed anything so far, you've missed one heck of a battle that has been going on. Multiple drivers have found their way to the front here, and so far I can't really say who the odds-on favorite would be, as it was Cody Reeder for the second stage and Josh Conover, but now it's Brian Jones and Sean Briscoe back at the front. Either way, we're about to get back underway here at Texas. It's Brian Jones and Josh Conover now in the lead. As Conover manages to snake Briscoe. Briscoe now starting to fall back. I'm not sure if something did happen to Briscoe there on the start, but he's falling all the way back now to 5th with Blake Timmons possibly going to get him for that spot. But we watch on to see what happens there with Briscoe just behind Conover. And you've got Martin Fleet now up into that 3rd spot. Yellow here on the speedway. It looks like a couple of trucks involved. Daughtry and McGuire. This one towards the back, so to spin this one back up here. McGuire had just gotten by Daughtry. There you can see Daughtry spinning just in front. I'm still not exactly sure what took place there, but let's see if we can tell. Daughtry on the outside here. Jump on board. Down into the corner, and it looks like that truck just gets away from him. Just turn, I mean, it's kind of weird to see the truck turning in that way. We'll back it up from and take a look from McGuire's point of view, but looking from McGuire's point of view, I mean, on turn in to see the truck go around like that, just not something that you would be expecting from either of their perspectives. So these trucks will bring it down pit lane and take damage repair, and you can see quite a lot of damage repair to do on that number 23 for David McGuire, one of our few independents in the field here, and Daughtry one of the other independents, the two coming together here on lap number 101. So with that, we're going to step aside once again. We'll be right back with the resuming of coverage here. Don't miss it. Don't go anywhere. Well, maybe get another beverage in your hands, then get back to the couch. We'll see you in a moment. welcome back here to virtual iRacing Texas Motor Speedway. No Limits Hold'em here, and we're about to see that play out as it's Brian Jones and Martin Clute who now control the front row. It seems to change every time we go to caution. Who's it going to be at the end of 147 laps? Well, we're underway here at Texas. We're about to find out. Jones in the lead, but Clute drifting back immediately. Conover able to take that second position from him. Now Blake Timmons back in the mix, up into that third spot. Conover makes the move down the inside on Brian Jones, wasting no time to try to seize that opportunity. Conover still trying to fight hard. Jones not giving it up on the outside. Jump on board, looking out the back of Conover. Conover and Jones so close there through turns 1 and 2. See how close these trucks are all together here. Conover really racing hard at the front of this one, trying to get a victory. I think you can start to feel it. But if anything, you got to take a look at what happened in the last stint. Certainly with Cody Reeder perhaps using up his tires for these trucks. Choosing to come down pit road, take on tires this last time. Not this last caution, but the previous caution. So electing to stay out there through this last caution. And there you can see it. That was Cody Reeder who had drifted up high. No, it wasn't. Another truck. Let's figure out who that was. Yes, it was, in fact, Bremkamp. So Bremkamp now back up into 7. And it's like he never left this top 5 picture. And neither did Torrance Shirts. Torrance Shirts up 21 spots now in 5th. So playing the game of the top 5 drivers, Conover owns the top spot right now. Jones in 2nd, Blake Timmons in that 3rd spot, Briscoe in 4th, and Shirts in 5th. Clute and Bremkamp now fighting it out side by side. With Shirts just in front. Schroeder having to bring it down into the pits once again to get that truck repaired. I guess they didn't quite get everything this last time through. Bremkamp on that outside, holding tight. SD rubbing. Don't want to rub too tight. Rubbin's racing, but it could also lead to some crashing as well, so we don't want to see necessarily too many trucks fight that hard together. But I'll tell you what, these trucks definitely willing to go out there and rub a little bit of paint off and try to gain a spot or two. Josh Conover not really having to play dirty here tonight, doing it all on his merit. He's raced really hard, being able to take 10 spots here, and he got it done relatively early, able to get around a number of these trucks, and then just took a little bit longer for him to emerge up there in the front. The question is whether Conover is going to be able to hold that position up in front, or if some of these other drivers are just conserving their tires a little bit, trying to save for the end of this stint. Now, they will all have to come in and make a pit stop before the end of this one. So I think that is on everybody's mind, is that there's still one more pit stop to go. A little further back, it's Briscoe and Shirts just in front. Just behind that, Clute and Bremkamp racing it out for that 6th position. And just behind that, we've got Cody Reeder battling on the inside, with the outside being Timothy Harper. Harper, he's made a valiant run at it tonight. He's tried to get up there towards that top 5, but it seems like every time he gets a chance to get near it, starts having issues and starts to back up. There it looks like John Cottle now making an appearance in that top 10. Welcome to the top 10 club, John Cottle, for Hollinger Racing. And I think maybe this is the time where we start to see some of these drivers that were kind of hanging back a little bit. Maybe start to emerge towards the front. And it's like, hey, all of a sudden you got John Cottle starting to show up at the front. You got Briscoe and Shirts. Shirts up 23 position. Here comes Cottle. He's going to make his move on Cody Rieger. Taking that number 16 truck up into that 8th position. So got another stellar climber coming up through the works. Conover, though, still in the lead of this. Jones in second, Timmons in third. Shirts in fourth. Sean Briscoe in fifth. Remkamp in sixth. Martin Flute in seventh. And John Cottle in eighth, as mentioned. So starting to settle a little bit, go nose to tail, but just as I say that side by side there, as it looks like Shirts trying on the inside of Blake Timmons, or on the outside of Blake Timmons, excuse me. Timmons in that green and black Ford on the inside. Timmons, of course, your pole sitter earlier. And they're having to work around that lap truck there. So it kind of squeezes down a little bit. That gives Timmons a chance to start looking at the inside of Brian Jones. Brian Jones got stuffed up just a little bit there as they had to work around that lap truck. Here comes Timmons. He drifted so far back, I can't even believe it. And yet here he is back in the top three. Oh, looks like he blinked a little bit, and he has a momentary disconnect, and that sends him through the infield. And he keeps control over the truck and recovers back to 7th place. He had a momentary blink out, which can happen here. This, I know it looks very realistic, like this is real truck racing out there, but it in fact is not. And this is iRacing service. You're watching the NORA Truck Series on VirtualRacing.Network, but sometimes that disconnect happens, but I'll tell you what, this is very real. Brian Jones making the move on Josh Conover for the lead once again. So close they get. Conover and Jones not afraid to swap a little paint. And now Conover starting to drift a little bit further back. Here comes Torrance Shirts with a great run. Number 33 truck now up in that top three. Now going to take a look on the outside of Brian Jones. Looks like that run kind of stalled out a little bit. Conover might get a chance to take that position back. Got some more position swapping a little bit further back with Brad Fulham and Todd Slauson. Ulsan Motorsports teammates kind of avoiding each other, trying to race forward. Jones still holding on to the lead, but here comes Shirts down the inside. No, he's going to do better of it into 1 and 2. With just 25 laps remain here in Texas. This one is getting close. It's going to be anybody's bet who could win this race. Will it be your points leader, Brian Jones? Will it be Torrance Shirts, who's gained 24 spots tonight, with Josh Conover, one of the championship contenders and the owner of the NORA Series, Sean Briscoe, second place in the championship. Who's it going to be? Martin Plute, maybe. Don't know. Oh, and Torrance tries to take it down to the super low run, super low lane on Brian Jones. Is not able to pull it off. Jones now holding on in that top spot just barely, as Shirts wants that position so desperately. And perhaps we're going to see Shirts wear off those new tires again. before anyone else, as now Shirts kind of backs up from Brian Jones. Now we're seeing Harper is into the pits. Not sure if that was, no, that was, I don't show that actually true, so might have been just a temporary disconnect from Harper, but we're going to keep an eye on, as we did see earlier, these trucks that do start to have blink outs. Sometimes this can be the effect as they start to fall down through the field, as it gets a little difficult for them to continue racing. Either way, Brian Jones, no disconnections, no problems. Brian Powell Motorsports looking stellar out there. Torrance Shirts in second place for VS Motorsports. Josh Conover for Flatline. Your top three at the moment, and wow, they got very close back here. Is Conover gonna try to give it the old nose in the boot? Don't think so. Watch on from Conover. You now can see that Shirt blinks in front of him. So a number of these drivers having a little bit of a disconnect. We've got a truck sideways. I think that's Mark Bremkamp. Indeed it is. The 28, the 78, excuse me, sideways. Perhaps some damage on that machine. Now, his number is officially 78. Not sure why it's 28 on the side, but it's been known to happen before. Bremkamp really had a moment there. Let's see if we can figure this one out. It was Cody Height getting by Bremkamp just a moment before. And we'll see if we can out is Bremkamp. Just it's kind of loose through the corner. Again, we've seen numerous drivers having this issue. Oh, I see. It is a 7. My apologies. I'm just kind of looking at it weird. It is a fat 7. That explains that. From my little monitor, I couldn't quite tell, but Bremkamp getting it loose by himself, and what that's doing now. Check back on the live picture. Got a lot of trucks heading down pit lane. I send it down to our pit reporter. Marty, pick it up. Oh, wait a minute. We don't have a pit reporter. So, Brian Jones, first one into his pit stall. And we've seen Brian have really great pit strategy here. Is he going to be the first one off of pit road here tonight? This is the crucial one here with 19 laps remaining, and this will get you back out in the lead of the race, give you that track position, and indeed he does. So pretty much the top three, similar to how they went in. I'm not sure how Plout managed to get one over on Conover. I was pretty sure that Conover had gotten out in front of Plout, but Martin Plout actually gets third position on pit road. Congratulations to him. Torrance Shirts, excuse me, emerging in second place, and then Conover back in fourth, Briscoe in fifth. So with that, we're going to step aside for just a minute, catch our breath. We'll come back with the conclusion of this one, NORA Truck Series at Virtual Texas, about a 17-lap shootout for No Holds Texas Hold'em. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned. welcome back to Virtual Texas. A part of Texas Hold'em and poker is knowing when to hold 'em and when to fold 'em. So who's got the cards to show on the table? We're going to find out here. It's been a lot of these drivers who have shown their faces up at the front, but who's got the truck to beat tonight? The one that will end up in victory lane. As anyone's guess, as we're about to get rolling here again at Texas. Brian Jones leads it down into turn one once again. Martin Flute in second, Sean Briscoe in third. Now it's Briscoe getting challenged by Torrin Shirts on the low side. Shirts emerging into that third position, now starting to take a look at second. Is he going to be able to snag that position from Flute? There he goes. Shirts does take it, and now that's going to open the door for Conover to take the inside line on Flute as well. So Conover, big loser that time on pit road. Going to be able to snag it from Flute, or is Flute going to stay in the gas and be able to take that third position back? In fact, he does. Now Briscoe and Conover side by side just behind. For the running order, Jones, Shirts, Flute, Conover, and Briscoe. Cody Reeder now right up there in that sixth position. He's still got a chance at this one. John Cottle has emerged at the front. He's now in seventh of six spots tonight. Blake Timmons, your pole sitter, back to eighth. We thought for a minute he might be up there in the front, but he's resting a little bit further back than that at the moment. Flute drifts up high. That does allow Conover to get through. Conover to that third spot. Here comes Cody Reeder back on the inside on Sean Briscoe. He'll take that fifth position back, and now Conover into fourth. But it looks like there's a challenge possibly for the lead. Shirts on the outside. We're now 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. 4 deep. As you can see, Jones now on the inside, still battling side by side with Shirts. Is Conover going to try to take that low line as well and try and freight train Torrin Shirts out of the way? And the freight train has emerged. Now will Shirts be able to hold on the outside? He's got Martin Flute coming up to try to help him, push him from the back. Now Conover switches to the outside lane. You've got Brian Jones holding the inside. Torrin Shirts on the outside. We've just got 11 laps to go this time by. Shirts and Jones still battling for that top spot, with Conover in third, Martin Flute in fourth, and Sean Briscoe in fifth. Really anyone's race, and it looks like it's 3 wide a little bit further back. This is tons of action here as we've got 10 laps to go. Who's it going to be in victory lane when it's all said and done? Looks like Flute got a little wiggle there. Conover sitting in third. Brian Jones now still trying to take that position back from Shirt. They've been racing side by side for 5 or 6 laps now, and they can't decide who's going to get that position. Shirts momentarily showing in front, but is Jones going to drift up the track in front of Conover? He does. Conover tries to take a look down the inside, but Jones cuts him off a little wiggle. I don't know if they make contact there. That's going to give Shirts a chance to jump out to about a 3 or 4 car length lead. Now Conover on the inside on Jones. Under 10 laps remaining here at Texas. You've got Sean Briscoe. Now there's 3 wide into turn 1. Briscoe in the middle as John Cottle moves into the third spot for Hollinger Racing. John Cottle now in third spot. Is that as far as he's going to be able to go? Or will he have more under the hood of that Hollinger Ford? Briscoe says, I'm not done yet. I'm going to take a look to the outside. I'm going to get a wheel on you, John. And that's how they're going to hold it. Torrin Shirts, currently your leader. He's gained 25 spots tonight, and he's only got to hold it there for another 8 laps. Josh Conover in second place. John Cottle in third. Sean Briscoe in fourth, and Cody Reeder, your top 5. Briscoe makes a move down to the bottom side. on Cottle. Cottle still holding on, though, through 3 and 4. They'll emerge side by side as they try to bring it through the dog leg. And now you've got Cody Reeder coming in to close in on that battle. Cody Reeder now still a factor in this one. He took stage 1. You're going to be able to do it again here at the end. He'll make it 3 wide. Cody Reeder down to the inside. Briscoe in the middle. Cottle on the outside as they go through 3 and 4. Can they keep all 3 of these trucks together without crashing? As they emerge off the exit, they do 3 wide here at Texas. And they've got to clear a lap truck, and they manage to do it 4 wide for a moment. Still 3 wide racing through turn 1 and 2. Never seen anything quite this dynamic at Texas, but great racing here in the NORA Truck Series as one of the drivers is starting to fall back there. But it looks like John Cottle manages to emerge up in the front of this group. Cody Reeder in second, and it looks like Sean Briscoe has had to settle for 6th position. Now Brad Fulham out of nowhere in 7th place, looking at the backside, and Craig Schroeder has crashed at the moment. I think he's gotten into the pits though, so that won't affect us. At the front, Conover trying to take the top spot from Torrin Schertz. Schertz on the outside is going to concede it. Conover to the front. Barney the flagman, he gave him 5 last time by. This time 4 times around to go here in Texas. It's Josh Conover who leads for Flatline Motorsports, and Torrin Schertz still trying to hang on to that outside lane. I don't think he can do it. Cottle just barely hanging on to a 3rd place. He's got Cody Reeder who takes the outside lane on him. Is he going to be able to hold off Cody? I don't think so. Cody is going to try to shut the door on John, and John drifts up behind. Brian Jones tucks in just behind that Bryant Powell Motorsports machine. 3 laps remaining here. Josh Conover just 3 laps from victory here at Texas Motor Speedway. Torrin Schertz may still have something to say about it, but I don't think so. A 2-car length lead for Josh Conover, and he's going to get 2 to go this time by. A little bit further back, Brian Jones now getting around Cottle, who had just been able to fight up into that podium position. Cody Reeder now looking like he might be able to take podium position. Schertz closing in with 2 laps to go. He's going to try the high side. He's right there to possibly take advantage of anything should Conover make a mistake. But I don't know that that's going to happen. Conover wants this victory, and once again pulling out a 1/4 second lead through 3 and 4. Those Schertz able to pull a little bit off of that lead. Last time by right now, Barney the flagman gives him the white flag, and 1 more to go for Josh Conover and the rest of the field here at Texas. Conover keeps it nice and clean through 1 and 2. Schertz, I don't think he's got enough to do it. Cody Reeder emerging in 3rd solidly, and suddenly this one's starting to sort itself out. It looks like Conover just has to hang on through 2 more corners, and he'll take victory. Will he be able to do it? There it is, your winner here at Texas, Josh Conover. And Torrin Schertz with the miraculous drive, 24 position forward to take 2nd place. Cody Reeder ends up right back where he qualified in 3rd. And Brian Jones, it's amazing. We saw Brian up there in the lead so much, it's almost disappointing, I think, to finish back in 4th, but he did finish 4 positions further than he qualified. And John Cottle came out of nowhere to end up in 5th place. So with that, we're going to take just a quick break. We'll be right back with the results. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the results, and we'll get a chance to chat with the winner here in NORA Victory Lane Discussion. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. welcome back to Virtual Texas Motor Speedway. You saw it right here, live on VirtualRacing.Network. How'd you like that finish? Let us know in the chat. It was something else to watch. As Josh Conover, he restarted like in 5th, with about 16 laps to go, and he managed to work his way all the way up there and steal this victory. He wasn't able to necessarily take the stage wins, but Conover in the right place at the end, and he held off a very hard-charging Torrin Shirts for second place. Oh my goodness me, what a great finish this one was. One for the history books for sure. And this is just one of the reasons why you got to make sure you subscribe, because you won't want to miss any more of this NORA Truck action. A lot of great racers in this league. Third place going to Cody Reeder. Reeder, the great first and second stage. It's not quite where he needed to be to try to challenge for the top 2 here tonight at the end. Getting a great podium position. We'll get a chance to chat with him hopefully here in a short bit. Brian Jones taking 4th place. 5th to John Cottle. 6th to Brad Fulham. 7th, Jason Brewer. 8th, Martin Flute. 9th, Tyler Dixon. 10th going to Mark Bremkamp, who was up and down in the order and had a couple of incidents, but managed to get it back together and get that top 10. 11th to Sean Briscoe, who I don't know, he must have somehow had an incident while we were off camera and ended up getting taken out of the top 3-4 contention. Slid back there into 11th. Disappointing result for him, as he is one of the championship contenders in this league. Christopher Height in 12th place. Ronnie Norman, really difficult night after qualifying so well up there in that 3rd spot, and then really just having to play catch up all the rest of the night, all the way back in 13th. He'll finish here tonight. Todd Slauson in 14th. Jacob Vladelich in 15th. Tim Harper, so much was going right for him for so long, and then back in 16th is where he finishes. Jason Conover 17th. David McGuire in 18th. And Keegan Bitzer ends up 19th. Nick Geilis 20th. Michael Scheel in 21st. Blake Timmons in 22nd. Cody Height in 23rd. Corey Danielson 24th. Cody Dorsey in 25th. Craig Schroeder having a couple of incidents there, ending up 26th. Jonathan Daughtry and Todd Schneider really not having the nights as independents that they would have liked to have here at Texas. So with that, we're going to get a chance to talk with, I believe we'll get a chance, hopefully, to talk with Cody Reeder. And in fact, we will. So let's go ahead and catch up with Cody Reeder, the driver of the number 85 for KPR Motorsports. Hey, Cody, fabulous race here tonight. You took the first stage win. We really thought that you were going to be there at the very end. You did get a podium position, but I think you had a truck that was capable of getting up there in the front too. Congratulations on your podium position.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was eventful there at the end.
Very eventful. It sure made for a great broadcast, and I think all the fans out there in YouTube land were enjoying that one. So talk us through your night. Did you feel like you had the truck to beat out there tonight? We saw the KPR Motorsports machine really just slicing and dicing through the field. Seemed like you were the one to beat through the first half of the race.
Yeah, I mean, congrats to Josh. There was one or two things I wish I could take back. But the truck was really good. I just was really patient, not, burning up my stuff and just trying to maintain and get to the end of the stages. And there would be a kind of a swing around lap 18 of a run where it's just, okay, my tires are better than everybody else's and I'm just going to go past everyone. It's kind of how it felt. So that happened twice, and then it happened there at the end of this run. I didn't have enough time. I just, historically, I'm a very good long run driver. I just don't really do good on those little shootouts. It's just not my cup of tea or forte. But managed a 3rd place finish. I mean, I drove all the way from, I think 9th I was at one point. So it was wild there. People were going crazy. I was just trying not to wreck and take care of my stuff so I could get to the end.
And certainly that's to be appreciated. I myself, I'm kind of the same approach. I'm not necessarily the best dueler in those short runs, but still, when you were looking at the strategy tonight, there were a bunch of cautions. Did that kind of play a role in your strategy decisions to try to save tires and get up there and get up in front?
Yeah, that's really, I think, what cost us the race, is that when we took that last, I think it was 50-ish laps, I knew if I was going to be better than everybody on tires at lap 30, like I was in the other runs, then I was going to be better than everybody, definitely on 40. So I just was taking it easy, trying not to lose too much time, but I was giving up positions thinking we were going to go all the way to the end. And all of a sudden I'm, P9, the caution comes out, and now I've made the situation a lot worse for myself. So if it would have went green, we would have been really good. It's just I didn't go hard enough, lost a lot of spots, and then I was kind of in makeup mode when we got that last little stint there. So that's what cost me the race. I do think Josh was really good. Brian was really good. Torrin was, he was freaking, it's like he had a different engine. It was crazy, some of the passes he was making, but I definitely think I had a car to win, but it's okay. It's a long season. Hopefully I can be there next week.
Absolutely. Now, next week, it's unlike anything that we've ever seen. Your thoughts on Bristol Motor Speedway dirt for these trucks coming up next week?
Yeah, I still don't understand why they put dirt on one of the best short tracks in the entire country. I will go with no expectations, and if something, if I come away with the top 5, that'll be plenty good enough for me. I think the biggest thing is just keeping I don't even know. I say that keeping the truck clean. I don't even know how important that is, but might put some practice in this week. We'll see. I feel like it's one of those races that you get to and it's just kind of a throwaway. So whatever happens. It's just I know Josh and a couple other guys, they run dirt quite a bit, so I expect them to be the favorite. But I'll try my best, see if I can hold my own and see what happens.
Well, Cody, you gave it a great shot here tonight. You did get some bonus points for winning the stage. And also, you've got a YouTube fan out there, I think it's Brady Motes, who says, Cody, you the man, chiming in the chat room. Any thanks that you want to throw down before we move on with the broadcast?
Yeah, Brady's my boy. I love that guy. I have a lot of fun racing with him. I think Garrett, he was spotting me tonight, just trying to get me through the field. And KPR Motorsports, see on the hood, that's my team. Gotta thank those guys.
Absolutely, you gotta thank your team for sure. And obviously, I'm sure Josh Conover taking the victory there, and all the good stuff going on with NORA. It's always great to have you in the fold, Cody. And you were class of the field tonight. Congratulations on your 3rd place, and good luck next week against some of the better dirt racers on iRacing, and good luck figuring that one out next week. So I think we lost Cody, maybe. I'm not sure.
You got me?
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I do want to say real quick, I've gotten a lot of good feedback that about the broadcasts and how well you do. So thanks for keeping friends and family engaged during the races and bringing it to them so they can watch us. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for saying so, Cody. And that's what we're trying to do here. Put on a quality broadcast, 4K, ultra high definition, looking good, sounding good, bringing Cody Reeder to the world in ultra high definition. Next week, we get to see you on the dirt. So good luck next week, my friend.
See you later. Thanks.
That was Cody Reeder, the number 85 machine. He had a great run tonight, taking some bonus points for taking the stage win, but unable to move further forward than 3rd. Now, those of you out there that were watching it, it was something else to behold. Torrin shirts with 24 positions gained. And let me tell you, this was, I spotted it a while out, Torrin, and it was like, what is going on with that number 33 machine? You heard Cody say it's like he had a different engine in that thing. What did you have figured out tonight? And congratulations on a great 2nd place finish.
Yeah, thank you. I think my line of 1 and 2 throughout the runs really helped me. And then once I finally got to the lead, I think Josh changed his lineup a little bit and found something that I think I just tried to run my line on those new tires, and I think I was better on a little bit of older tires. And I should have just committed to the bottom a little bit more there and maybe not let him by. Then I thought maybe I'd have something for him again, because 3 and 4 I kept closing the gap again, and then 1 and 2 I'd get close to him and then I'd run my line and he'd pull a little bit, and then it sucks being that close. But shoot, when you start 26th and had a shot at a win and led some laps, so I can't complain.
And it was so entertaining too. You had numerous side-by-side battles there. Nobody really made it easy for you. We're on screen. We're watching now before you were out in front and then battling with Josh Conover for the lead. It was with Brian Jones, of course, the points leader, and you really had to go through a lot of trucks out there. How was it racing at this Texas facility? And what did you find on those slightly older tires that it seemed like nobody else could find? Was it the outside line that you liked? Was it the inside? Was it particular braking into corners, or are you not willing to give up your secret?
I just think, trying to keep the momentum going without getting the truck sideways. I think my corner exit off of 2, while everyone else was sliding, that's where I made a lot of my gains. And then I go down the backstretch, and Brian would mirror drive all the way. I think he blocked me to the apron a few times, so I'm like, dang, man. But I wasn't quite good enough to pass him on the outside in 3 and 4, and then we got those fresher tires, and I'm like, you're going to block me, I'm going to go to the outside, I'm going to say bye, and that's what happened.
Well, you overcame so much adversity and still managed to keep that truck up there in front where it needed to be there at the end. And talk about that battle and how it went down with Josh. Was there a moment that you, like, I think you were talking about it earlier, that you felt like if you had just done something a little bit different, if I could have taken a run off of the, corner number 2 a little bit differently, or maybe held the outside a little differently, what was it that you think maybe could have gotten you in front, or did Josh just have the truck to beat tonight?
No, I just think in 1 and 2, I should have, like I said, committed to the bottom. Wouldn't have given him his lane that he was wanting. I don't think he would have been able to pass me on the high side. And then by the time I get to 3 and 4, I was just so much faster. I think he had a little damage on his truck, and I didn't. I think that helped. Just a dumb mistake on my part, but I really thought momentum would win. But I think tires were just a little better than momentum. And, he passed me fair and square. I didn't try to make it too hard on him because I figured I could try to get back to him with that draft. But it just wasn't meant to be tonight. But like I said, 26 to second, I have nothing to complain about.
Absolutely fabulous run tonight. 24 positions gained. It's just something else. You just don't normally see that. I mean, you do look back, Brad Fulham back there in 6th place. He managed to gain 21 positions as well. Fabulous finish for him. Torin, anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to before we roll on with the broadcast?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to you guys for this awesome broadcast. Josh for hosting this amazing league, and then my partner in crime, Mark Brimkamp, for bringing me on this year. It's been a up and down roller coaster season so far, but we've been running up front. Maybe we'll snag a win before this thing is all said and done.
Well, absolutely, and the YouTube fan club checks in. I saw Mark Brimkamp subscribe to VirtualRacing.Network, and of course, if you're out there, you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. But he also lets you know, congrats to my teammate Torrent Shirts on a podium. What a freaking wheel, man. So you got a big fan out there in Mark Brimkamp, and we'll see if you can carry that kind of success on to our next race at the Bristol Dirt Track.
Yeah, I kind of like the dirt. That's where I started, so hopefully we can have another strong running next week. Feel like my chances should be good. Just got to keep the truck out of trouble. And I finally got to go to that track in real life and watch it last year, so maybe that'll help me. Who knows?
Well, if Torrent Shirts likes the dirt even more than he likes the asphalt here in Texas, you may be in for another barn burner. Torrent, fantastic job here tonight in 2nd place. Congratulations. Great run. See you next week.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
That's Torrent Shirts, the BS Motorsports Chevy, ending up in 2nd place, but my goodness me, he was out in front. You see it there on your screen. Some of the laps that he did manage to lead there tonight. And, of course, that is going to turn it over to none other than our winner here tonight, Josh Conover, who was absolutely, he was up and down in the order, but at no point could you count Josh Conover out. He fought his way back numerous times, and he just missed out on that Stage 1 victory. But Josh, joining us now in NORA Victory Circle, how does it feel to win Texas, and how does it feel to win here in the NORA Truck Series?
It's always good when you can grab a win, be up here and talk to you post-race, but I thought I kind of gave it away. I think before that last caution, I tapped the wall off of 2 and had about 12 seconds of damage, and almost had a parachute basically, and thought I was done. But played a little strategy and kind of had some help with one of iRacing new features for fueling the truck up, and tightened her up a little bit, and was able to battle with Torrin and hang on.
You did hang on. But Josh, I mean, it really looked like you had the truck to beat. It seemed like when you needed to march forward, you could. I think maybe, if anything, it was a little bit hard to stay up there in the front for too long. But when you needed to slice and dice through the field, you were able to go from 5th to 4th to 3rd to 2nd and march up there into the front. Talk us through the strategy of tonight. Was it cautions that played a role? Was it tire wear? Was it just the track itself? Was it the other drivers that you felt like you had an advantage over them driving it a certain way? What was it that really got you up there into the front tonight?
My mindset here is always just try and save the right front. Kind of take a wider entry into one, and a lot of guys like to kind of get right to the bottom and almost somewhat dive bomb the corner, to whereas like I was doing there at the end, just kind of take a wider arc. And for me anyway, it kind of helps save my right front for the long runs like we were gonna have before that last caution. And even the shorter runs, like for the stages, like stage 1 was like 35 laps, and even something like that, it still helps, you know, just to kind of have that couple extra percent on the right front to make some moves when you need to.
Cautions playing a role tonight?
That last one did. I didn't end up getting my damage fixed, but I got obviously fresh tires. And then, like I said, iRacing added that auto fuel feature thing, and because we were good on fuel, it didn't put fuel in, which, you know, lighter truck or lighter car or whatever you're in, genuinely will tighten you up. So I was able to, especially like in 1 and 2, I was able to get back in the gas quicker and not have to worry about it stepping out on me. So it definitely helped, you know, trying to catch back up to Torrin there at the end. And once I got in front of him, kind of hold him off.
Well, that was one heck of a battle there that you held off a number of these drivers over the course of the race. But I'm sure you saw Torrin's shirt come out of nowhere and you thought maybe he might be the truck to beat here tonight. Either way, you managed to handle everybody in the competition. And really, you put that Flatline Motorsports truck up there where it couldn't be touched by anybody. Any other thoughts here tonight on the race, or anybody that you'd like to thank for tonight's win?
Well, always the broadcaster, and I appreciate you coming on and helping Ronnie for basically getting the deal done up and getting us coverage. Just everybody that ran. I mean, another solid field. I think we had 29, I believe. So for race 5, and it's not too terrible. Generally, our races here aren't the best. So, I mean, I think we only had 3 or 4 cautions, I believe, not counting stages. So, I mean, could be better. You know, obviously could clean up a couple things, but could also be a lot worse. We could have had 5 trucks finish. So, you know, can't complain about that. But I just thought the racing all around was good. I mean, even up front, I know towards the end we started throwing blocks and getting aggressive, and I know some contact was made, you know, by some guys, but caution didn't come out. We, for the most part, kept everybody straight and rolling on all fours, and hopefully had a good finish.
Oh, it was a very exciting finish, and got me a little hoarse with my voice. That was some great chance to do some play calling. Really enjoyed that. Some 2 wide throughout the top of the field, and a little bit of 3 wide there even for a while. So exciting stuff, Josh. You're running a great show here in the NORA series. If you can, give us some shout outs before we let you go, and then give us a little preview. We've got tomorrow night with the Cup Series, going to be at Richmond, and then next week going to be going to Bristol Dirt.
Yeah, just like I said, I mean, you for the broadcast, everybody that showed up. I mean, like I said, it's always, we run the full schedule, so obviously you'll have some fall off here and there, but to be, I mean, 5 races in, basically over a month in already, and to still have 30 plus trucks. Can't complain. And like I said, it's relatively clean. Richmond tomorrow. I just found out Vincent probably won't be able to do the whole race, so not to take a shot at him, but now somebody else has a shot to win. So maybe we can fly into Richmond and maybe steal one from the championship guys over there, since we're just running for part-time and like owners points. And I don't know, we'll see. Richmond for the league is kind of like Texas, just it has a tendency to get out of hand. Cautions breed cautions, so typically we're good for a long run, and then we have our first caution, and then it's downhill from there. So I'll knock on wood here whenever I get off and hope it doesn't do that. But now then, Bristol Dirt next week. My brother Jason and I run on dirt in real life here in Jersey, so we always have that one marked for us. The win tonight helps. I won't have to necessarily go in and shoot for the win as hard as if I didn't win tonight. So hopefully get a little fender rubbing with the little brother and maybe keep him out of the winner's circle next week.
Well, Brady Moats checking in saying Jason Conover is the real favorite next week, best dirt guy in the field. Josh still finishing second to Jason. Wants to make sure that you know that, but also that tomorrow night in Richmond is going to be a good one. Josh and Brady, close battle for position at the end coming tomorrow night. Brady Moats really letting us know what he thinks in the YouTube chat. We appreciate him chiming in, but still saying Josh is the GOAT. So you got some fans out here in YouTube land putting on a great show with the NORA series. And hey, I also heard Torrin Shirt saying he likes to go dirt racing as well. So you might have your hands full with a number of good competitors. Congratulations again. Great win. And we'll see you tomorrow night at Richmond.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. So that's Josh Conover taking victory here at Texas Motor Speedway. I sure hope you enjoyed that one out there. Of course, big thank you to all of you who joined us here on YouTube on our VirtualRacing.Network official channel. And a big shout out also to Morgan Paviel. Thank you so much for watching, dear. Do appreciate it. So on behalf of everybody here, make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're not already a member and subscribed. Mark Bremkamp did tonight. And we sure appreciate you joining the fold, so to speak. Make sure to smash the like button as well. It helps the algorithm to know that you want to see more of our broadcasts. And we'll see you tomorrow night here on VirtualRacing.Network. It's going to start at 8:25 Eastern Time. You won't want to miss it. It's Richmond short track racing for the NORA Cup Series. So until tomorrow night, I'm Trevor Greenfield. You've been watching the VirtualRacing.Network's ongoing coverage of the NORA Truck Series 2023, copyright VirtualRacing.Network 2023. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful evening. So long, everybody.